storytelling and just showing examples as well. Yes?
Oda az elejére a layerökre vissza lehet vinni?
Melyikre? Hova?
Hát a második, harmadik szerintem. Ez az.
Okay.
Köszönöm.
Yes.
Szóval a porzókról, hogy porzópárok, és a keresztporzásról.
Igen,
Hát lesz róla szó.
Porzásról?
Például, hogy mecspárnak kell egy mecskapár, mert különben nem lesz meg termék.
Nagyon nem megyünk bele így a fajokba, egy-két példa lesz. Majd az én... So the question is now that if we are gonna talk about, like, for example, if a fruit tree needs another pair, like hazelnuts or figs, because you have a male and female tree, so if you need it. But my answer is to that, for example, in my garden there is only one fig tree. Okay, I have two hazelnuts, one male and female, but one fig tree. And if you live in an area where you know that there are other ones, you don't need it.
I know.
But of course, if you live in an area where you know that it's actually just empty lands or monocultures all around me, then you need to buy to your farm or garden too.
And sometimes even for apple trees, like you have varieties which are really bad pollinations, and you have to find it.
Yeah. So it's for the pollinators. We don't go into the species specifically because it's just too much
The
time.
moment where common sense doesn't work totally, and you have to go for university.
It really depends on like what you want, and you need to think first, but we will get there. So the first step is gonna be what you want in your garden, like how your dream garden looks like, what you want to eat, what's your favorite fruit and vegetables, and what do you want to prepare, and so on. So that's the first thing that you start. Okay, so any more questions?
Wrong continent, man.
Go to Africa.
No?
I just have experience with mint and basil.
Yes.
They are very nice when grown together. They get each other's aromas and it's
mint.
Yeah.
Actually, I brought mint with me, so we can plant it as well later.
The basil was almost like mint. It was basil with mint-like aromas.
Oh, so cool. Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you. Okay, basil and mint. It's like when you so one more tip that's really good. So things that go together as states in real life, like basil tomato, for example, or strawberry mint. So a jam, strawberry mint jam, it's really good, by the way. But if things go together in real life and they taste good together, usually they are good companion plants. So that's a good thing to remember.
Usually, yes.
Usually, not all the time.
Because
usually.
I plant onion and strawberries together.
Oh. Okay, well, it depends on your taste, I guess.
But they kill each other, that's why.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have a question. So, how many of you have tried gardening this way before, like ecological gardening, food forest, or farm? Like, how many people have experiences?
Not that much.
Yeah. Okay. And was it a success so far, or what do you feel like? Was it easy? Is it easy to get started with it?
I was easy going about it, so it was easy.
Okay. But what do you think?
It was not easy.
It was not easy.
It was not easy at all. If I knew the things I know now, I wouldn't start like this.
So was it useful?
Yeah, it's true.
Was it useful though then?
Of course it is
Oh,
useful.
nice. Okay, that was like. Oh.
But for me, the most important thing is to prepare the land.
Yes, we
before,
will get there.
Yeah,
Now.
we will talk.
Yeah. And we will do it here as well.
Like for me, the most important is like observation, because you can watch as many videos and read as many books, but they are never for conditions of your garden. So you should not take it like orthodox. No, it should be just like this and nothing else, because I read this on the page number. Because in your garden to be specific, and this is what they said, but nobody is listening to them. Like in the beginning.
But also natural rhythms.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Yeah, so don't take this seriously. No, I mean,
There are
he's
principles,
very right.
Don't take it literally.
Yes, because for example, this is why Fukuoka was so successful, because he was very specific on his land. So you cannot really mimic that one, because even a stone creates a microclimate, right? So you can never know like how it's gonna how a plant is gonna behave in your garden. So you need to experiment. And probably it works here, and 2 meters away it doesn't work. It dies. So
yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah. So I think they have spirits as well. So that really, like for example, the Asian culture really believes that they have spirits. So they don't feel comfortable in one place, and on the other place they feel comfortable. Yes.
And what I learned most is just patience because I'm a rather impatient person, and I jumped into it and did it like I want to do. And it really requires patience, and you can force something.
Yeah, this is what I try. So I think a 20-minute long break, maybe, so we can stretch, go to the toilet, and then it's gonna be like little bit easier after try to do it without break. The first one is we're going through the stages of how a design plan looks like. It's not going to be complex. We just go through what we need to do to design a garden that you want. We will do only the dreamy, creative part of it now, which is the first step you will need the paper for. And that's going to be, if you had a dream garden, what would you put in it? You need to think of the fruits, vegetables. It can be from different climates. So it can be tropical, it can be temperate climate, it can be from anywhere, Nordic, blueberries, okay? And when you have the list, because actually this is one of the biggest mistakes that people do when they design the garden, that they don't think through what things they want, so they just kind of grab things that they have, try to produce things because it's fancy but they don't even like it. Okay, so try to figure out what are the main things that you eat in your everyday life, what you like the most, what fruits and so on, and later on you can be realistic with it. Okay, so you cannot grow apple and papaya, okay, together like on one land. You can dream about it because if it happens to you, okay, it happened to my friend. That they ended up on a tropical island, and they could produce all these beautiful and delicious tropical fruits. So you have an idea at least to grab onto that what you want. So most of the time people just don't know what they want. So now you will have the time to think what you want. So okay, so you can put a list on your paper, try to choose plants. It can be herbs as well, if you like teas, for example. Okay, so it can be herbs, and also try to choose plants on each level, each layer. So we have the 7 layers. Try to think of each layer, what you like and what you would like to produce. You will have 15 minutes, okay? And then people who want to share it can share it. If you don't want to, you don't have to, okay? Now you don't need to be realistic. Now just just dream it. Be dreamy about it. Write down everything that you like or you want in your garden if you had your dream garden. You cannot do something without. So try to make facts on the fruits, vegetables that you eat the most. So you need it most. So you can yes, of course. Yes.
Azt mondta, hogy az se zavar.
A számom pismeli?
Odáig elhallottuk azért. Szóval csukjam be a fülemet?
Iniziamo a fare un fello, metà sacando te che sta stato ondo se vallo, e metà sacando ta se venne ieri. Via un carota valla.
Solo la van.
Hadi.
Because once I had to go to the hospital because I had symptoms that were like very bad and I had really bad pain. And also I have eczema and my eczema was blooming. And at that time we didn't know like what caused that. And it took a couple of months to consider that maybe it's because of the food or I have allergy. So people thought that it's a kind of virus in the stomach or gut. So the food actually destroyed my guts and stomach, but it was because of the gluten, egg, milk, and I could carry on. These are the heavy, strong ones that I have intolerance for. And so what I learned during these years that it's most likely because when I was a university student, I stopped eating our own food, and I was a poor university student, and I went to eat the cheapest, shittiest food in the supermarket, and I lived on it for years. And I realized that, okay, so everything that I saved money during those years, now I have to spend and I have to pay the cost because I didn't eat properly. And I learned that actually, for example, with gluten, there are a lot of studies because there are more and more people gluten intolerant, that it's not the gluten you are intolerant to, it's the pesticides that modificate the gluten inside the wheat that your body identifies as poison. That my body identifies it with food poisoning. So that's how I was actually first aware that probably I should change. That I should change my eating habit. So that was a good motivation. And the second one, that I was traveling a lot. I was traveling for 10 years, and I was always close to nature, and I was always wanted to find jobs and move to untouched nature, and I couldn't really find it. I had to go very far away to experience real untouched nature. That was Alaska though. That was really far. and I realized that all the natural land that we call like, oh, it's so natural, it's really not natural, and the natural ecosystem is completely damaged. So I kind of got sensitive towards it, and I started to pay attention what kind of solutions exist. And the reason why I got into permaculture and food forest, because I'm kind of lazy, but I wanted to solve these problems. So I wanted to restore the ecosystem. I wanted to help myself and the nature around me. And this is how I got to know about different ecological farming experiences. So I worked as a volunteer in Japan on different ecological farms, and I participated in a project in Portugal. I have some pictures about that too, to restore desertification. And with actually Levente, we participated in the same permacultural design course here in Hungary, and we took part in different projects there too, like on hands-on experience. We got some hands-on experience there. And the last year, I decided, actually 1.5 years ago, I actually took a lot of courses like ecological gardening, ecosystem restoration, so a lot of other courses besides it. And the last year, I decided that, okay, it's my time to create my own food forest from the big. Now I have enough experience, enough theoretical knowledge. Now I want to just build up mine. And this is my mom's house and my mom's garden actually. And so I had the land there. And this is why I started to experiment and build up according to my best knowledge. And I did a lot of field work, I will show you. So you can see there is a swale here, probably some of you know what it is. It's actually a very common permaculture tool. So you dig a ditch. I measured how deep and wide it has to be to preserve all the rainfall that actually comes during the year. So the heaviest rainfall, I checked. I will show you a very good website. I collected 2 websites for you if you want to do your own design that were very useful for me. So the meteorological facts. I checked the meteorological facts and the sun, and with the rain you can calculate how big ditch you need to dig to preserve the rainwater when it's the heaviest. Is it clear?
Who dig it out?
Me. Thank you. Yes, and the one more important thing, it's a little bit more technical, but how I chose where to dig the ditch. So a swale always follows a contour line. Does anyone know what a contour line is?
It's like a line with the same height.
Yes, the elevation. So when you check the elevation on the side, and you can do it online, you can do it with a drone. I use the easiest free online source, a website again, to check the elevation and the contour lines on my garden. And the starting point of your first sphere should be on the lowest point of your highest barrier, the highest fence, the highest side of your garden. So for me, this one is the highest side because I have the highest point on this side, and the lowest point is actually the corner. So the swale is going from following the contour line, and it can end up anywhere. It could end up here, it could end up there, it could end up there. That's it. Is it clear? Mm-hmm. Okay. If it's not clear, I can explain later if you are curious. Here I dug a pond and I created a water flow system. So there is an overflow of this ditch of the swale. So if there is like a very heavy rainfall, and even heavier than I expected, the highest, then the overflow is here and it's coming to the pond. Nice. And the pond has an overflow as well. And you cannot see it now, but I will show you. I dug raised beds here. It has different kind of keyhole raised beds. It has a formation of a keyhole. There is like normal raised beds. So between the raised beds, there is ditch where you can walk. So there, actually, the overflow of my pond goes to these ditches. Okay? So if I want to water my plants, I can just overflow my pond, and the nutritious water can go between my raised beds. And why is it good? It's much easier to water the plants, and because the water is little bit on lower level, and my plants are here, so the water forces the plant's roots to go deeper for the water. So it's better to water them from under than from the top, because then if you always water them from the top, the roots are gonna be more shallow because they are going for the water source. If you plant them, if you can manage to water them from below, then the roots are forced to go deeper, and so the plant is more stable and stronger.
And isn't that making them dry faster? Like when you have them digging, like outside, and they are higher than the soil level?
So it depends like how big your plant is. So with vegetables, I plant them from above as well, because their roots are by the time they grow down, you need to take them out because they are annuals. But with trees or bush, it's better if you plant them below, because then because those roots can go deeply during the years. So it's better like that. Okay. Other thing that I want to point out, water restoration. So I bought IBC containers. You know what IBC containers? Big white containers. So my plant, I already have it, but you cannot see the picture, on the highest point of my garden. So I can still irrigate with the irrigation pipe this part as well. So I collect the rainwater from here, or my plant, I didn't connect it yet to do it from the roof. But we have coot. Oh my god.
Well.
Yeah, I don't know in English, but I think it's well, yes. That I can pipe up the water from here to the top of my garden once, and then I slowly let the water come down in my garden to irrigate the plants. The main reason of these terraces and the very thick mulch that I have everywhere, that when we have the very dry months during the summer, 3 months, we had no water the last year in the summer. I think it happened the whole Europe. So it kept the water for a month at least, but I think it was even longer. So I dug my arm down to the bottom of the mulch, and it was still wet, even if the driest month. So it soaks the water and preserves it, and because it's terrace and not a slope anymore, the water goes down slower, and in the meantime, it irrigates the trees and every other plant. So that was my water system idea. And yeah, right now I have the IBC container, and this part is done. So here, this year, I'm gonna do the irrigation on this part. But I'm gonna show you other pictures, because actually I have a lot. Okay, so it's a little bit of closer one. You can see that one is so that's north, east, south, west, and these are raised beds here. I have the raised beds on the sunniest part. So I'm planting the vegetables, most of the vegetables, tomatoes over there. And I also have a Mediterranean part with the rosemary and sage and fig tree over here. That part, because nothing is under shade. Okay, it's from another perspective. I have the compost down there. I'm gonna show you here. Down there.
What are you using for the vegetables?
To the mulch, I'm using straws.
Straw.
Yes, most of the time. And on the pathway, I'm using leaf, and I'm collecting all the ecological waste from the streets that I can. Mostly leaves and branches.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is a big cherry tree, it's an old one, and this one is a sour cherry tree. Those were the ones there that were already there before I started to do anything. So this one is already a map that I can use for digital mapping and digital planning, because the slopes are already corrugated, so I can measure the so it's accurate, measure accurate. So it's like, you know what I mean. I cannot explain in English anymore, but you know what I mean. So I can draw now the plan, what I want, because the slope is not gonna disturb me anymore, because it's already corrugated by the system. So it's I can measure that, like 1 centimeter is 1 meter. I just said something. So it's topographically good. Yes, correct.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Before you start with your garden, how was the yard look like? What was?
I show you the picture.
Okay. Yes.
So these are like the I'm not gonna go through these ones, but I collected a lot of like maximum and minimum temperature of page, like how what are the hottest months, a lot of information. What is the average temperature, the average and the highest, or the most minimum rain and irrigation. Okay, so this is. It's not the before after photo.
Exactly, yes.
but it's like, because I already started the field work there, And that's snow actually, it was last March, and that was a couple of months later. So I started to do the terraces and the raised beds over there. And you can see that there is already water in the pond, and there I just started it. It looks like, you know, this duck that you can find in the baths or in the bathrooms, so the shape I have of the pond. Okay, so this is the infrastructure. So I just checked if there is no wires, pipes, anything under the garden, so I can actually dig my pond. I can dig my pond. Okay, other data.
Do you use some membrane under the pond?
Yes, I'm gonna show the picture of that. 1 second, I'm getting there.
Sorry.
And you can see the elevation, the contour lines here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my garden. You can see in the middle, and this is the contour line I used. This one. Mm-hmm. Because that was the lowest point of the highest side of my garden here.
So where did you get this info?
It's on a website. This is the free, easiest website that you can get, and it's in Hungary. It's even bad. So in other countries it can be better because the satellite pictures are not good here. So if the satellite picture is good and more clear, then you get a better measurement. If it's not that good, then it's you approximately.
But in your garden is different, like 2 meters, 1.5 meters now.
So yes, it's not a lot.
I mean, it might be plenty.
Yeah. It's not a lot, but it's also like what's your purpose, what you want to do. So for example, for me, I didn't want to. If you have a bigger farm, it's worth it more. But for me, it's also the pathway where I walk. And also besides that, I have the raised beds. So there, it's already the irrigation is solved. And on the other side of the swale, you have the tree, and just beside the little bit of raised bed, there is the tree, and you don't need to water or anything. And because the land was actually very degraded, so it was super bad, very clayey, full of rocks. All the rocks that I used for my pond was coming out. Actually, I have a small video. I built the pond here.
So this is the membrane you're using?
It was one membrane, and underneath I used. So all of these rocks were coming out from the soil that I dug out.
Same is by my place. I'm planning now to do a pond like this with membrane, and all the rocks were coming out of the ground.
Yes, and it was enough actually. So this is how
I have also a lot of rocks.
Me too. It just took ages to come. Like I felt like, you know, the historical, like the person who archaeologist. Yeah. I felt like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to show. This is what I put under the folie. This one is old carpet and some bedding sheet. So it was instead of geotextile, you can use that because
under the membrane.
it's under the membrane. Yeah, it's under the folie that holds the water. So you protecting from roots and like the sharp edges of stones that are still in the ground that I couldn't dig out.
Because if you have one hole, you're fucked.
Yes, and this one is actually a very strong folie, so hopefully it's gonna survive. It's gonna survive a long time, decades. So hopefully, yeah. So this is how very clayey soil you can see, and actually the sides are not this sharp that you can see here. Okay, because I modified it. That's the lowest point of mine. Okay, and I have some pictures actually about my raised bed. I just like demonstrating like how bushy and diverse it can be. Yeah, my artistic pictures. And it's also like a little bit more developed, so you can see compost layer already. You can see some seedlings or some peppers there, and yeah, that's it here. And I actually wanna show you. Okay, that's the self-marketing. I have a Facebook page. So this is how it looked like in the autumn. And I'm gonna. So I expanded the raised beds. You can see the stones beside it because I had too much space between the raised beds, so I expanded them with another edge. So now I have more surface to plant. And I put a lot of mulch down, like these trees, like you can see in real forest as well, to soften the soil because it's very compacted, super compacted, very rocky, very clay soil. So I started to add some humus layer on it. Okay, and I would like to show the video of, I have some pictures about like the zucchini and some peppers and some tomatoes and marigolds. Yes, a lot of tomatoes, cucumbers, and yeah, I'm digging it. Like minced rosemary, blackberry. Okay, I wanted to show. This is how I create an extra edge around my raised bed. Can you see? Like these stones?
Yeah.
And there I'm gonna plant flowers like pollinate to attract pollinators this year.
Did you paint the rice beds?
Yes.
Both of the sides?
Yes. And there is actually a poly inside, but now I probably wouldn't do it that way anymore. But we will have the workshop for raised beds.
And you will explain
yes,
why.
we will discuss. Okay. Yes. So I created an artificial spring here. That's coming to this ditch where the water can go to two directions, to this way and this way. So they can just, it's called the flooding irrigation. So I just flood the whole area with water.
And is there a membrane in the...
Under the, yeah, there is membrane under this one, yes.
And so you're just using the water like with the bucket to water the...
No, I'm using the pond water, so I overflow the pond, and from the pond, this is the lowest point, it comes out here, and it goes to every direction. Okay.
Okay, I will have some more questions.
Okay. 1 second. I want to show you a video. Oh, you can see like the nice paprikas here. Oh, yeah, this video. It's from the pond. The last year. Okay, I'll go back to the beginning. So how it looks like and how it goes, how the water goes. You can see some algae here.
And this pipe comes from the ABC?
It's coming from the well.
Ah, from the well, okay.
Yes, yes. And it goes, the water goes here, and it goes to every direction, down there, and it's also the walking path. So everything has multifunction in my garden. And it goes here, and then this whole mulchy area becomes actually wet. So it can irrigate the raised beds beside, both sides. Okay, this is how I refilled the swale. This is the whole big line that I showed you on the big map. Zucchini, lemon balm, blackberry, compost. Okay? And wanted to show you a bit of, oh, so this is how the it looked like when I planted everything and everything was small. So it has, I don't go into details, the pond has different layers as well. So, and the plants have different functions as well. But we will have like a big pond workshop, and my friend is coming and he's gonna explain everything to you about the pond. He's getting prepared. Okay, and one more interesting thing, just a tip. Can you see this?
Yes.
So that's actually an irrigation system as well. I have a clay pot. It's called olla, homemade olla. It's a Spanish name. So the clay pot actually lets the water out from the wall, but it only lets the water out if the soil around it is dry. On the other, if it's wet and it's rainy, it holds the water. So it's a good irrigation. When you when you take it out from the raised bed in the autumn, you can see that the roots are all around the pot because they are going for the water.
So you have to dig it in?
Yes, but it's easy because it's whole compost,
Yeah.
so it's not compacted. Okay, this is how I dug out all the big stones I have some melons. I was experimenting with melons this year, or the last summer.
How old is this garden?
So I started like I had a couple of trees, but I did it last year, the whole thing. That was the beginning of. That was last March, a year ago.
Bravo! Bravo!
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, this was my work for the last year, and you can see how I. The most difficult part was the measuring, to put everything in level, because that was very like, okay, a little bit here, a little bit there. I need to put a little soil back, and lifting a little or digging a little bit more there. So yeah, that was the most difficult part. And then yeah, this is how I figured out the duck shape of my pond and where it should be. And then how
do you cross? Do you have a bridge over the
Yes, there is actually. There is a little bridge, and I will have more because my mom said that she wants more because she is not. Oh, and here is the how it looks like when there is no thick mulch. So when the water comes here, this is how I tested if everything is on level, like the ditches are on level. Because if it wasn't, then there would be water only on one side, and there wouldn't be water on the other side. So you have to be very precise with that. Okay, the big nice cherry tree, and yeah, and how I tested that night as well. This is where this is the traffic jam. So there is a ditch there. The water comes up and goes to two directions on different levels. So it's common sense, basically. Common sense. Everything is common sense. Just you need to be specific with the things. So I wanted to create my whole system, basically, because I wanted to understand how much work I have to do, or a person has to do, to create something like this. And now I feel much more confident because I experienced every step and stage of the food, forest, and garden building.
How much time did you spend just creating the project before starting it?
Before starting it, actually it was a couple of years already, not consciously. No, it's like not consciously. I was thinking of it, and then a couple of months beforehand, but I already knew the land. So right now, if I went to a land, I would spend, like, I would go through the main things that we will go through on 26 in practice, and then I would spend a couple of weeks just to think what we could do there. But even there, you share it, you think of it, and you change a bit. So it's a long process actually. On some lands, if it's completely unknown, you should actually take a year.
Because you have to experience the all seasons.
Exactly.
I'm doing it right now, and it's so
Yes, so long. So if you don't know the land at all, you want to know what's there already that you can use, what's there. Yeah, but what we discussed.
Yeah.
So you need to know the land first. That's the most ideal case. Here is the little bridge that you can see. It looks a little bit different now. It's still the building time.
And you still call it like a lazy gardener method. This should stop it now, because then you can cause frustration to the people who say, okay, I'm a lazy person.
Okay, I have to tell you,
10 years.
on this picture, but it was 1 year, and I didn't do it continuously. I didn't do anything.
There's a lot of organizing, there's a lot of effort.
Yes, but I did it alone, and I didn't do anything in the summer because it was too hot. So I was just dealing with the annual plants during the summer.
Only in the summer. It's a wrong marketing to call. No, I'm serious, because then people will be frustrated, because I've heard on training that it should be like for lazy people, a lazy person, and it's a wrong.
Okay, lazy people. If you have money, then you can pay for people to do it beforehand, and then you don't need to put as much effort for the maintenance. That's why it's called the lazy gardener.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
sure
yeah.
about this neither, but
Yes, but this is how I did it. So not everyone does it that precisely. I wanted to do it precisely because I wanted to know how much work it needs. So you can do it without creating the terraces, or you can do it. For me, it's much easier to do the irrigation now than going one by one with the little bucket or the little thing to irrigate the plants. So I think it really depends on your perspective. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I like the field
I know
work.
that's not what it is, but
Yeah.
I think it's just that it can really cause frustration to people.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
because,
sorry.
like, no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
not to me. I'm also like crazy working like this.
Yeah.
But I feel that in Czech permaculture, for example, this is no, that's
It's too. Yeah, yeah. I know.
I was discussing this already with Nicola. There's this guy like from Farmbeck Elouin in France. And he said like it's not a lazy garden and that they are replacing like power of fossil fuel with something else. It's your own power.
Yeah.
You could not be lazy.
Yeah.
You have to put there some effort.
Yes.
And even like harvesting, planting, etc. Of course, you can make it like easier, but you could not be lazy.
So for me, the lazy gardener means that I don't really need to do it. So I do the job once, the big job, and then I don't need to deal with it too much. That's for me the lazy gardener, because if you think about agriculture and garden, the people cannot get out of it, like they are the slave of their garden and their farm, and I don't want it. So this is why I put all the work at once, and then I can let it go.
Like permaculture, like culture to cultivate. You know?
Yes,
You
yes,
some
yes.
effort. It's not like it's not foraging.
Yeah. It
big
depends on the
agriculture.
person. Yeah. Of course, it depends on the person, like what they want. If they feel like they don't want to create that complex or that precise system, for me, it was a joy. So I didn't mind. But for some people, it doesn't mean that it has to be the same. It can be really like a balcony garden. So it's completely fine too. It's really up to.
Really nice, like what has been shown to us in one course at the university. There's like transformation of energy, like input and output in agriculture, and it's like something.
Yeah.
Now,
I agree.
how many units of energy you put into receiving one energy of like food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for me, it was worth it. For some people, it's enough if they build a couple of guilds that we are gonna do here, and that's good as well. So it really depends on the person, I think. And your creativity. So.
Lazy people can see the professionals, to be honest. There are people who enjoy it more, the design, and they don't want to do it after it, so maybe.
It's about like fair price of a product.
That's what we were talking about in the car. It's not easy to do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you also want to push your limits, I think. So I started with a different idea, but it always changes while you are doing it. And you kind of like, okay, I just want to, for example, with the rocks, when I was digging them, I was like, okay, just one more. And it's like, okay, just this one, because they are so big, and you just want to see the end of it. You just, so it really depends on your process and what you want to do. And I had the time and effort, so energy to do that, so why not? But it doesn't mean that everyone does it the same way. It just means that I did it this way. And later on, I will be very happy if they thrive by themselves, and I don't need to do anything with them. So that's it. Yeah, hopefully. That's my plan.
I think investment. You invest your time either to pay rent or to invest in a loan. Like this, you put your energy into something that will be your own in the end. It will sustain itself.
That's my idea too.
I spoke with my grandfather recently, and he said, I want to be done with it. I want to be done with the garden, but you can't just say done. You need to do something with it so you can go back, but you can't just finish the way he has done it. But the way you've done it, at some point you can say, okay, I'm done. It will thrive on its own, and you can live there.
That's my plan. So this is why I'm planning mostly perennials there. So bushes and trees. Yes?
Like how is it financially in ballpark figures?
So the other thing, takes longer if you want to make it cheap. Because you need to grab the trees and all the plants from the community, from friends. If you want to buy them, you can make it quicker, because then you can buy it once and then plant it at the same time. But if you want to save some money, then you do your research where you can grab it from for free or for a lower price. For me, the biggest cost was actually, I think, the IBC container.
What is that?
The big container that I
For water?
For water,
Ah,
yes. I think, oh no, actually the pond foley was the biggest cost. That was the biggest, because that was not the plastic one, a better, more sustainable one, and more stronger. So yeah, that was the biggest cost. But besides that, it just worked basically, and some wood that I used, but it was already at the house. But once it was bought. So, and the IBC container. Besides that, I didn't spend more money on it yet. Like small seedlings and seeds, but I wouldn't say that it costed too much. No, it didn't cost anything. Because I used the compost, and I went after like horse manure, and yeah, so I brought everything in once, and I tried to collect it from friends or friends. So that actually took a lot of time. But if you have the money to collect everything at the same time, then it's much quicker, because you can put down everything at the same time. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
How easy is it for you to just leave the garden and go away for a few days?
So winter very easy. I don't need to do anything. And also in the summer, it depends. So if you wanna have annuals, and I use these oyas, for example, that I showed, then a week without me, that's fine.
The water system.
Yes, the water system works. If you have perennials, you can go for anything. Like you don't, if you have, because then you don't need to babysit the vegetables. If you have vegetables, then you need to be there and every couple of days to eat, harvest, or water them. But it really depends. This is why I want perennials. Because you don't need to do anything with them afterwards. After they are big enough, you don't need to water them or anything. I don't water them anymore either. So yeah.
And also, do you use animal waste as fertilizer?
So right now, no. Only our compost, and I got compost from other places as well. But we composted our own. I have actually grabbed or collected the organic material from the streets, and I composted that too. So I used that compost, so our own and other compost, but not now. Before that, I used mushroom compost and horse manure, but not anymore. Oh, a little bit of chicken manure to the vegetables, because they eat up the nutrients very quickly. Another point besides the perennials, because they don't need that much of like additional nutrients even at the beginning. Yes.
I've heard that you can't, you can, but it's not good to see the same seeds on the same soil a few years in a row.
Yeah.
Because the soil is getting exhausted.
Yeah, and also because of the parasites that cause diseases to one plant can sleep over the winter in the soil. So yeah, I use that too, that I don't plant the same vegetables to the place where I planted the last seed. It happened before that I did it. No bad thing happened, but it could. There is a bigger chance for that, bigger risk.
This is for the annuals, not for the perennials, because
it's for annuals, of course, yes. Yes, so I'm very sorry. Okay. Oh yes, it's almost 7 o'clock. Okay, so we can carry on with the questions later or anytime here. Okay, and or she wants to.
Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We
can open for a while.
This was energetic and
Oh no. So guys, just a few minutes because I don't have time now for the reflection. I don't want to take the time from the dinner. I wanted to do it, but unfortunately then tomorrow when you bike back, we have to have 45 minutes or 1 hour for the reflection, okay, because I wanted to make it deeper. I don't want to start now because then it's the dinner later, and we have also the Romanian evening today. Where is the Romanian group? Okay, so I would like to, please don't go, wait a moment. So I would like to ask you to start to prepare quick after the dinner. I don't know, just tell me what you need. And also before you leave, please put back all the stuff from the table to leave everything clean. And one more thing, hello, because maybe this is the time when I can share some information. So, sorry, just some minutes, okay? So tomorrow we are going to go for the trip to this farming place. So please be in time for the breakfast, because after the breakfast we have to walk. How many time was?
10 minutes.
10.
Almost.
15. Yeah.
15
minutes to grab the bikes, and then after you will cycle around 20 kilometers to the place, and we have to leave in time to be able to come back in time, okay? You will have the lunch at that place, and you will be guided on that farm. And after you will return tomorrow, then we have to make the reflection. As I remember, tomorrow there is no international evening.
Yeah, we don't have.
Yes, tomorrow we don't have any, so then we can make the reflection even if we start a bit later. And let me think. Okay, I think, yes.
what should we take?
For the trip?
Yep.
Yeah, very good question. If you have the bottles, do you have? Hands up who has the bottles for the... Okay, yeah, the water bottle.
Do you have your own?
This.
Okay.
If you, all of you, if you have, please take it for the morning, because in this one you can take some water or tea or some what you want from here to the trip, and also maybe a small backpack can be useful, or maybe one backpack for 2 persons or something like that. And also you will get the breakfast, and at the breakfast you can also make sandwich if you need on the way. It's not a must, I think, because the breakfast will be hard, so heavy, yes. And I think you can alive, but if you need something, then you can also grab some sandwich for the trip. Yes, you will get their lunch. It will be full of like meaty for the persons who eat meat, and all the others another kind of food you will see. They will make it for you, and yes, but the water needed for sure. And if any or no, again. So if you don't have water bottle in the morning, just ask the kitchen team, because I bought some small mineral water, yeah, but I think it's better. It's just in case if you don't have, because water is needed for sure, because you will go in the nature, so there will be no shop, no village, no house, no person, only animals, sky, forest, and the road. Where to go in this
Survival skills, first survival skills.
Yes. Do you have any question at the moment?
Maybe do you know how it looks with the weather? We can like check for ourselves.
Yes, it won't be rain, I hope, but I have to check again. Yes, very good question also. That please take the raincoats and all the stuff. As we checked, tomorrow in the morning and in the evening will be some rain, but of course in the morning I will recheck again. But I really want to go, but as much as you can, please dress up waterproof stuff, okay? And I also took some waterproof jackets, so maybe because one car will come with the group, I have to still discuss with Thomas. No, but for sure there will be one car, so maybe we can put them in the car. And if there is any heavy rain, but it won't be.
Bicycle or what? You don't have my size bicycle?
Yeah.
Such body shaming.
What else?
They'll write it in final report.
Do you have any question? It was very good question. So yes, please have your coat and maybe layers, and you can put in your backpack or on the back of the bike if you have extra stuff, but it's better to have extra than freeze or something. But I hope some sun will come tomorrow. Okay, then please take together everything, and after dinner we are going to have here the Romanian evening, and you can come to me if now I'm here, what you need, okay?
What time will be a Romanian evening?
Let's say
Lunch? 8:30, okay.
8:30? For me it's okay, yeah. So then guys, at 8:30 starts the evening, and please be here at that time, okay? Everyone. Great, 8:30.
Guys, do you need the projector? Do you need this one? No? Then I'm gonna turn it off and I put it away.
I don't know if you need to. I hope not.